It doesn't have to take years to look jacked. If you do it right, you can build some serious muscle in your first few months. Newbie gains are real, but to see real results, you need a training plan that optimizes for them. In this video, I'll break down the exact routine that I would use if I was starting all over again. Man, I've never been one to like eggs, but ever since I started putting cheese in with them, they're so much better. I was doing peanut butter and toast with jam earlier, but that protein to calorie ratio was making it hard to get my protein in with the rest of my meals for my cuts. So, man, when I first started going to the gym, I started off going way too often. And while originally I thought that I'd see more progress, this actually inhibited it. When I was starting, I should have started on a 3-day per week program. Because I was new to going to the gym, my body wasn't used to or adapted to the stress that I was putting onto it. And because I was only taking 1 or 2 days off per week, I was not getting enough recovery. This led to me always feeling kind of crappy and always had these minor injuries that would keep me out of the gym for a few days. And since I wasn't giving my body enough time to recover, it also wasn't optimal for muscle growth. So because of this is why I think a 3-day per week program is the absolute best program that a beginner can do. It allows adequate time to recover, and when you recover, that's when your muscles are actually growing, so you'll be optimizing for muscle growth, and it will also allow you to hit your muscles at high frequency. Instead of these other programs where you only hit your muscles 1 or 2 times per week, you're hitting each muscle group 2 to 3 times per week at the minimum. It's also a lot easier to stay consistent, as it's a lot less of a commitment than 5 or 6 times per week. Now, when it comes to the best split you can do, I definitely say it's the full body 3-day per week program. Full body allows you to hit every muscle group every time you go to the gym. There's other splits out there. Some people like doing a push-pull legs, or they like doing one workout and then switching to another workout and then going back to the first workout, especially with a full body routine. Problem with the push-pull legs is you're not getting that frequency that I talked about earlier. And it's also kind of boring. I find when you're hitting legs for a full day, which to be honest, I do now, but it is boring to be doing that all day. Where if you're doing full body and you have to do legs, but you also do another exercise that is more entertaining or one that you find more fun, the sets are also of a higher quality. Where if you're doing, say, an arm day, a lot of the sets you do in that day are going to be junk volume. For each set that you do with a full body routine is actually going to be effective at growing your muscles. On the first day of the week that you exercise, we're going to start out with a dumbbell flat bench. The reason why we want to start it with this one is because it's a compound movement and it's going to be the most taxing on your system out of all the exercises for the day, so you may as well get it out of the way first. When you do the exercise, any of these exercises really, make sure you're picking a weight that you can do a full range of motion. So you go into the full stretch and then a full contraction. If you're not able to do the full range of motion, it's going to do you more harm than good, puts you at risk of injury, and it also is not going to be optimal for muscle growth. As typically when we lift too much weight, we're not going into the fully stretched portion of the lift, which that part of the lift, a lot of research is showing is very important for hypertrophy. If you struggle to get dumbbells up for this one, I like to put them on my knees and then pop them up into position. After the dumbbell flat bench is over, then we're going to go on the cable row machine. Make sure you're not using a whole bunch of momentum. Your upper body should stay relatively stable. And again, make sure you pick a weight that you can do the full range of motion with and that your form's not going to break down in. After that, I recommend doing the goblet squat. So pick a dumbbell that you can lift, put it in front of your body, hold it up tight to your chest, and then go down into a squatting position. Once you're done with that, then go and do chin-ups. Now, a lot of you probably are not going to be able to do chin-ups as a beginner. and that's completely fine. There's machines in the gym that you can use that you set your knees on, and they assist you with your weight, so it makes your body weight a little bit lighter so that they're more manageable. So I definitely recommend starting out using that, and then moving on to do a cable tricep push down. When you do this, lean forward a bit, make sure your elbows are tucked tight to your side, and you should feel a good burn in the triceps here. Once that is done, go to the rear delt machine and then start doing rear delt flies. Make sure your hand's a little bit lower than your shoulder, and then make sure your shoulders remain down and not up around your neck. After that's over, go to the seated calf machine, hit your calves here. That'll finish you off for your legs on this day. And then lastly, you're gonna hit your abs. For this, do the plank. Probably one of the easier ab exercises that you can maintain your form as a beginner. Speaking of form, if you guys want any feedback on your form, then I'll drop a link to my fitness accountability group down in the description of this video. It's completely free. I'd love to have you there regardless, but if you need some assistance with your form, you can drop a video in there or a photo, and I'd love to give you some feedback with that as well. After your workout on day 1 is over, you want to rest for at least a day. Since you're doing full body, you're going to be hitting pretty well every muscle, if not every muscle, every workout you do. And resting for a day will give your body enough time to recover from that workout. The rule here with these full body exercises that I'm telling you about right now is to never do them on back-to-back days. On day 2, you're going to start out with a Romanian deadlift. This is another taxing exercise on your system, so you want to make sure you start out with it. With this one, definitely make sure to look up a video on how to do the correct form, as it is a little bit more of a risky lift. You can also do this with dumbbells or barbell. For this variation, do the dumbbells. Make sure you start light, get your form down pat. Don't worry about the weight for the first little while, as again, this is a riskier exercise. And then as you get comfortable, as you get competent with the movement, then you can increase the weight. A few pointers here is to make sure your core is braced. And the goal of this movement isn't to go up and down. It's more to put your hip back and forth. You're still bending at the waist, but you're not trying to bring the weights right down to the floor. You're trying to put your butt out basically as far as you can. Once you're done with Romanian deadlifts, then head over to an incline bench, grab 2 dumbbells, and then you're gonna do seated dumbbell shoulder presses. If you're confused on the bench angle for this one, go look at a shoulder press machine, and you wanna replicate the same angle with the bench for this one as well. After the seated dumbbell shoulder presses, then you're gonna head over to the lat machine, do some lat pull downs. Again, make sure this is a movement that you're doing with good form. You're feeling a good stretch at the top and then a good contraction at the bottom. After that, we're going to hit some legs with some leg extensions. These are going to hit your quads. You didn't hit these with your Romanian deadlifts, so it's good to hit them now. After your leg extensions are done, then you're going to hit chest on the pec deck machine, then do a preacher curl. You can do this with dumbbells or a barbell, easy bar, whatever you prefer, whatever you find most comfortable. It honestly doesn't really matter at this stage. You also want to superset these with overhead tricep extensions. So if you don't know what a superset is, what you're going to do is you're going to hit your biceps on the preacher curl, and then you're going to hit your triceps right after that on the tricep extensions. You don't take a rest in between. This will help you save some time in the gym. Doing full body exercises definitely take a little longer than hitting different muscle groups. Then we're going to hit your abs here with hanging knee raises. There are a few variations of these that you might see online. One is to do these on a pull-up bar. This is a more advanced way of doing them, so don't do this right off the beginning. I definitely recommend starting on the machine that has a pad for your back and then pads for your arms to rest on. This is going to make the movement a lot easier, and make sure that you're targeting your abs correctly. After day 2, again, you don't want to work out 2 days in a row, so you want to do a rest day. Then on day 3, when you show up to the gym, you want to start out by doing a dumbbell incline bench press. The reason why I'm doing dumbbells on these is so you can start building up your stabilizer muscles, as they work them a little more than a barbell bench press. Again, for this, choose a weight that you can fully control through a full range of motion, and then work up from there. After that, then move on to a 1-arm dumbbell row. Then I want you to do walking lunges. This might be a little difficult after doing an incline bench press, as they're both taxing on your system. So when you're doing these, make sure to rest a little bit longer, around the 2.5 minute mark. That way you're fully recovering between each set. Then I want you to do dumbbell skull crushers. These might be hard on your elbow as a beginner, so just make sure to use a weight that's not too heavy for you, and that'll keep you safe. If you feel any pain, make sure to swap out for a different exercise that hits your triceps. After skull crushers, then we're gonna move on to the 1-arm cable curl. I like this as it keeps tension on your biceps the entire range of motion. After that, hit up face pulls for your back. Make sure you're pulling to your face, not to your chest or above your head. You want to make sure you're pulling to like eye level. And then you're going to finish off with some dead bugs for your abs. One thing I like to focus on when doing these is keeping my back flat against the mat. Sometimes I arch my back, mostly because I sit so much. So when I do these, I keep my back flat against the mat and then make sure I'm holding that position. This is actually a posture exercise that I do to fix my posture from sitting so much. Now, you might have noticed that I never mentioned sets or reps or anything like that. And that's because every 4 weeks it's going to change. So the first 4 weeks, you're going to start with 3 sets for 12 reps. After that, 4 weeks is done, then you're going to switch it up to 3 sets of 8 reps. Then lastly, you're going to do 4 sets of 6 reps. The idea here is 1, to keep it from getting boring, 2, to add different stimulus to your muscles. The lower rep ranges are more for strength and the higher rep ranges are more for hypertrophy. On the lower rep sets, make sure you slow down your rest periods a bit so they're a bit longer. After the 12 weeks is up, you can either restart and do this all over again if you're enjoying the 3-day per week program, or you can switch it up to the 4-day per week program. This would be ideal if you find yourself getting bored of the 3-day per week program or if you hit a plateau. I don't have a video out yet on a good 4-day per week program, but I definitely plan on releasing one. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And if I have released it by the time you're watching this video, I'll make sure to include it at the end of the video. That said, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Don't forget to join the free fitness accountability group down in the description of this video if you want some feedback on your form during these exercises. This video is also a part of a series on the fundamentals of fitness. So if you're a beginner to fitness, I definitely recommend checking that out, as it's going to make sure that you are doing everything correctly and avoid all that stuff that you don't really need to know about. So if you're interested in continuing watching, make sure to click right here and don't forget to click subscribe.